Hey YouTube, what's up? It's me again. I've been wanting to do something like this for a very long time, but wanted to wait until I had enough information to actually create an entire segment out of it. Now that I have, I present 11 games that have the worst tutorial and instruction systems in them ever. Now 10 of the games on this list are pretty much all top selling, and some of those 10 have gotten like Game of the Year award or whatever. And one of the games on this list is completely free to play. You can go to the site, download it free, and play it for free. But that's besides the point. Every single game on this list all have the exact same problem in common, and that is there's something inside the game's instructions or tutorial inside the game itself that is supposed to be teaching you how to play that has something wrong with it to the point where it actually sometimes interferes with you actually being able to play the game. Now, again, some of these instructions are not important. Some of them you don't really need. But that's not the point. The point is that the instructions are missing and they should not be. And what gets me is I don't understand how some of these games got their instructions the way they are and got through research and development. But what's worse is when I've brought these problems up to people on forums, whether it's the makers of the game or whatever, I've gotten told that I'm the one that's stupid, or I figured it out, or millions of people had no problems, which has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the instructions still missing from the game. What I'm covering should not be missing from the game despite whether people need it or not. So I'm gonna go right down the list. I'm gonna point out where the flaws are in the game's instruction systems, and then you can make comments on this video. First on the list is Alpha Protocol. Okay, in Alpha Protocol there is a training segment, and there's something called gadget training in Alpha Protocol. Now, once you're in there, towards the end of that training, you go through, you pick up grenades and whatever else it is. Now, towards the end of that training, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're told to use, I think they're flash grenades, or I forget the grenade type. But anyway, the point is, you're told to use a grenade type that you never even knew you picked up. Somewhere along the line in gadget training, you picked up these grenades and you didn't even know it. You were never told, you were never notified, there's nothing on the screen, anything like that. Now at the end, you're told to use these grenades to take out some soldiers that are coming around the corner. Okay, and then on top of that, you're not told how to use those grenades you picked up that you didn't even know you had. So it's not a game-breaking flaw, but that's not the point. The point is, why are they telling you, why weren't you notified that you even picked these up? And secondly, why aren't you being told how to use them? You're told the other grenades, so why not these? So again, it's not game-breaking, but it's just an annoyance because that's something you're probably going to use during the game. Alright, next up on the list is a game people are probably going to piss and moan at me about due to its, quote, got the best game of the year, it was the best RPG ever made, or whatever. I'm talking about Baldur's Gate 2, Shadows of Arm, and Throne of Ball. First of all, this game has a major problem. It uses 2nd edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons rulings, which are hard enough in itself. Those are the most complex rulings of any game ever designed anywhere, even to this date, because it uses something called a THACO system. Now, using the word THACO as an example, I'm going to explain to you what the hell's wrong with this game. Okay, Baldur's Gate was, I believe, created by Obsidian. Black Isle Studios, I believe. Anyway, it's made by somebody. Whoever it was made by isn't the point. The point is that when there is no interface breakdown of this game at all. And everything you do basically takes place within the interface, okay? And everyone that plays this game says, oh no, it's explained. No, it's not. You need a complete interface breakdown on what every single thing does on the interface so you know how to maneuver through it. This isn't point and click and guess. You have to be told this because these are precise instructions that you have to do. For example, I started trying to play the game as people suggested. Oh, just go play it. Okay, I did. I could not even get from I couldn't even get to the second room because I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. And what was broken down in the game wasn't explained. Again, I'm going to use the THAC0 thing for that. I'm going to use the THAC0 word for that in a minute. So I figured, okay, let me stop this and let me go try the tutorial. Well, the problem got even worse because during the tutorial, I was okay up until the point I somehow was supposed to set spells and cast them. Okay, because I did not have an interface, I did not have a breakdown of the interface on what the hell I was supposed to be doing. I was being told to set spells out of a spell book. I didn't even know where the hell it was. Yeah, it says it's off to the side of the screen, but once you open that, you have no idea what you're looking at, and nothing is broken down in it. So how the hell are you supposed to know what exactly it is that you're doing, where you're putting it, and why it's going to do what it's going to do when it's being put there? Now, again, can I read this stuff in the instruction manual? Of course, but that's not the point. That defeats the purpose of the tutorial. The tutorial is supposed to be explaining this stuff and breaking this down, not that I have to stop the damn game and go read it. So, the problem here is I actually wound up, in order to set a spell, I had to run I had no idea what I was doing. I finally got so fed up with trying to figure out how to set the spell, I ran my hands off up and down the keyboard, and finally it set. So now I have no idea how to set the spell. Then it asked me to cast it. Somehow I clicked on my mouse or did something, and the first 25 places I clicked, it wouldn't go off. Somehow when I clicked somewhere, it finally went off. So I have no idea why it wasn't casting where I was clicking, even though it told me to. Then the problem came is when the guy kept saying, now I was being told to sleep, to rest, so I can regenerate, I guess, my mana or whatever the hell it was I was supposed to be doing, or reset the spells. And then the game did not explain to me how to sleep. I mean, it said how to sleep, but it doesn't actually break down the exact process. Are you supposed to be pressing the escape key? What key did you press? How do you rest? It doesn't tell you any of that. It just assumes you're supposed to know this. So I had the guy sitting there telling me, you haven't slept yet, and it's just like every 15 to 20 seconds, you haven't slept yet. I finally get so friggin' annoyed because I had no idea how to sleep. I actually had to hit Alt F4 to shut the game off because I got sick of it. So at least when I was playing it, I was able to get further than what I did, but I still couldn't get over the other room, and the tutorial system in this didn't break down anything in the interface. Baldur's Gate 2 Shadows of Arm, I have no concept of how it got the best game of the year edition or RPG or whatever the hell it is, because the interface that you have to know how to use is not broken down in that. So you have no idea what you're doing. Now, this is the way the instructions are. I'm going to use THAC0. THAC0 is THAC0. It's not an O. And that stands for to hit armor class 0. Now that you have that instruction, go play. Use the THAC0 system. That's exactly what those instructions are doing. It says something, but even knowing what it means does not help you play this game. You have to be told exactly what that is, why you're using it, where it's using it, and that entire stuff needs to be broken down. And again, yeah, is it in the manual? Probably is. But I'm not going to go read the manual for something that should be being explained to me in the game. Alright, on to the next game. Blur. New racing game. The instructions for using, I guess I went through and tried playing this for a day. I went into this mode called Destruction. And in Destruction, you're told to pick up power-ups, or you're supposed to run into power-ups, and you're supposed to use the power-ups that you pick up in order to destroy other vehicles on the track with. Well, the game tells you what to do, but it does not actually tell you how to actually use the power-ups. Now, instantly people saying, oh, you just press this button. No, I was pressing buttons. I even have a video I made of this, and everyone still says, oh, you're doing something wrong. Look, if I pick up the power-ups and I'm riding down the road, and then I hit a button and then the power-up disappears and it doesn't destroy the vehicle, clearly I've used the power-up, so clearly I have not done anything wrong. It's not my fault that the game does not explain to you specific things. The problem with this game is that it fails in the instruction to explain that you can drop the power-ups. But yet, that's not explained to you. That is something you should be being told in the game itself, which you're not. If it's told in the game, I have yet to find it. And I'm not about to start toying around with the menu. Again, that's something that's supposed to be being explained inside the game manual itself. I'm sorry, inside the game system itself. So when you're on the screen, these messages should be popping up. Alright, I'm going to end this at part 1. I'm going to go into part 2, which is going to bring up Dragon Age Origins and a few other ones. Alright, that's end of part 1.